Good morning, everybody. It's a very cool morning. It was in the 30s this morning. It's going to be in the 30s again tonight. And all of that's a precursor to Hurricane Ian. Ian, I don't know. I haven't even watched the news, so I don't know how they're pronouncing it right now. Anyway, if you could see over here, you'd see there's a tarp hanging off of my roof. You know, there was a house fire we had in 2013, sorry. 2013, I broke my ankle in 2012. House fire was in 2013, March of 2013. And had to do a complete renovation. Well, you can tell how cool it is by what I'm wearing out here. But, you know, they had the fire actually started in the vent hood that was had some kind of wiring issue, and it went up through the vent exhaust up into the roof and burnt through the roof, and we had to have the roof replaced. And at the same time, even though it wasn't part of the renovation, my husband and I took money out of his IRA, basically cleaned it out, in order to have the very improperly built porch roof torn off and rebuilt properly with a better rise on it, because it was pretty much a flat roof and it was growing mushrooms, and at the time it was only about 10 years old. Oh, no, how old was that roof at the time? It was about 15 years old at the time. So anyway, big renovation, and I thought, we're set now. Although we had a lot of trouble with the contractor that the restoration company picked. Well, fast forward to when, I guess, if you've watched all of my videos, you know that I stood out here and there's a leak on this porch roof. I was standing, it started dripping on me, and there's a leak on the porch roof. I'm thinking, 10 years in and the porch roof is leaking, why is that happening? That shouldn't have happened. Of course, you call the restoration company, and they're like, oh, we don't know who that contractor is. We don't do that work anymore. We don't do roofs anymore. I'm thinking, gee, I wonder why you don't do roofs anymore. Anyway, they bear no responsibility, of course, according to them. And so eventually we call out a local roofer who comes out to check the roof. And he says, oh my goodness. He said, have y'all had a lot of wind lately? I said, well, not anything unusual for the mountains. And he said, oh, these people, he said, I said, I tell you right now, I know they didn't know what they were doing. He goes, yeah, that's an understatement. They did, he said, you got loose shingles, you've got flashing, put in the wrong places, put in improperly. Not a shock to me, considering how we had to be on them every moment while they were doing this renovation. Had them redo things, and so anyway, not a shock. But the kicker is, we need an entire new roof, and I'm talking the house roof and all the porch roofs. And there's enough squares in the porch roofs to make a whole second roof, because these are 8 foot. 3 sides are 8 feet porches, and of course the roof goes further than that, and then you've got 4 feet on the other side. There's a lot of roof on this little house. So he talks a long time, and he said he's going to give us an estimate, and he's estimating there's about 24 squares on this roof. Anyway, the estimate comes down to a big chunk of change. And because we paid off our mortgage, I don't have that entire chunk of change. I have a lot of it, but I would clean out all my accounts in order to pay that in cash. So, you know, we said we're going to have to think about that, how our finances are going to go. And, you know, so he said, how long is this estimate good for? He said, well, it's good for 45 days. And, you know, I have a good feeling about this guy. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. we were kind of under the gun with the other guy, having to use that contractor because that was the restoration company's contractor they were using, and we were kind of stuck because we were living in an RV in the driveway. So we were kind of, the whole thing was being renovated, not just a roof. So that was a really bad time. So anyway, so we're kind of in a holding pattern, and we're talking about, my husband doesn't want to do this, right? I said, well, what's the alternative is you wait, and eventually not just the porch roof is leaking, but the actual house roof is leaking. It's leaking into the living room. It ruins all the insulation. Then it ruins the drywall, and we've got a lot more expense besides just the roof. So anyway, we're still thinking, mulling this over, how in the world we can do this, and my husband's basically doesn't even want to think about it. I don't blame him. I don't want to get rid of every penny I have either. And I don't want to go into debt for that. So anyway, this morning I get a phone call from the roofer, and he says, that storm is coming. He said, do y'all want me to come out there and tarp that roof just in case? Because he said, we're supposed to get a lot of rain here, and we are. We're going to be in the path of, we live in the North Georgia mountains, so if a lot of these tropical storms, we get the outer bands of them, and we get a lot of rain to do with that. And he said, would you like me to come out here and, tarp this roof so that you don't get more damage on the roof because of this tropical storm that's headed our way. We're going to have about 4 days of rain, several inches of rain. And, he asked my husband, and, my husband said, well, it kind of depends on what it's going to cost, and, because you have to be realistic. You have to think about that. And he said, well, if I'm going to do your roof, he said, nothing. And so they talked some more, and he came out this morning, and he tarped this roof, this leaking part of this roof over here for us in preparation for the storm coming. And they talked some more about how we could manage this roof situation and little alternatives of things they could do or not do, or anyway. So I was very pleased and pleasantly surprised that he thought of the roof. Obviously he wants the job, I understand that, but he didn't have to call and say that. He could have just let the roof go and, let all the damage happen and, let us sink and have to have it done immediately. But he didn't. He actually came out here and brought a tarp and tarped the roof, and, hopefully it'll hold through this next storm. So that was nice. Anyway, so just because you paid off the mortgage and you have no debt doesn't mean something else is not going to happen to you, right? Life happens. As they say, life is what happens when you're making other plans. And my husband says, well, we could sell that lot down there. The one that we got back, we traded for work, and then we bought it back. I said, oh no, here we go again. But it's worth more than the cost of the roof. But anyway, that's what's going on in my life right now. You're not gonna have to sit here and listen to me too much longer, because I was going to film some with the chickens this morning. I talked about little Mace and Iris, who are now 13 weeks old, and I had a thought. Instead of taking Mace away from that group when he's older and giving him to Hector's girls, his 4 girls, I thought, what? If I could actually let those groups start running together and let the battles happen and all that, and see how they can start, if they can start getting along together, and then maybe house themselves together, then I wouldn't have to remove Mace from his group, remove him from his sister, his half-sister or whatever. I don't even know if that's his half-sister even. I wouldn't have to separate him and Iris, and I would be adding 4 hens to that group. See, I can't put Mace in there in that group because I already have too many roosters for the number of hens that are in there. But if I add 4 hens, big hens, I can leave him in there. So I'm shifting my plans there, and we've been doing this for a few days, and it seems like they may actually work. They're kind of avoiding each other. B got in Jill's face. Jill is in a full-on molt. She's badly molting. She's like naked. And when they do that, it's painful. They're out of sorts. They don't feel well, and they're cold. And little Miss Bumblebee, who has got the biggest attitude of everybody in that flock, decided she was going to get in Jill's face. And I thought, okay, yeah, I knew it was going to be Bumblebee. I knew it was going to be Bee. I told my husband before it happened, I said, Bee's going to be the one to start something. And she was. And Jill flared up, and Bee flared up, and so they jumped at each other, and all of a sudden Jill screamed and ran from this little tiny hen. So, yeah, and Magnus, he herds them away from his girls. He herds those Barred Rock girls away from his girls. So I think this is all going to work out just fine. Big Athena, who is, Zara and Athena are sisters, are Atlas's daughters. They've been in there with Hector for years now. Jill was head hen. She was Hector's favorite. But all the time that Hector was going downhill, Athena was by his side. Athena was sitting next to him with her head near him, checking him out when he didn't look right. Athena, I believe, has taken over as head hen in there. She actually disciplined her sister when her sister jumped at Maddie, Hector's daughter, who's in there with them. And yesterday, when I had everybody out, Zara apparently pecked little Iris and made her squeal. Athena jumped in there and came at her sister with both feet and came away with feathers in her mouth. So she disciplined her sister for bothering little Iris. And Iris isn't even in her group, or wasn't in her group. But I'm thinking that if these groups actually join, Athena's going to be the new head hen over all of them, because she is a big girl. She is a tank and a half. And she's a great hen. So she's the largest hen I actually own at the moment. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a preview of what's going on out there. They're staying away from each other, actually. And Mace and Iris are big and beautiful, and I want to show them to you. So I was going to talk about what's going on in the world and the crazy lunatic Democrats. I mean, Amy Klobuchar. And I thought Joe Biden was mentally incapacitated. That woman acts like she can control the weather. She's like the weather god. Oh my gosh. It's like, oh, with that hurricane coming through Florida, we've got to get in there and work for climate change. It's like, wait a minute. You think you're going to redirect hurricanes, lady? What's wrong? Screw loose. Loose screw alert. Yeah, please. Oh my gosh, these people. The whole lot of them are loose, or have loose screws up there, I'm telling you. But I didn't want to talk about that. I want to show you chickens. I don't want to talk about other stuff. So I'm going to go and I'm going to do some filming on some chickens, and stay tuned. Hang on, y'all. Well, here's Iris and Mace. Oh, you're going to jump down so now I can't film me, you goober. Hey, Iris. Say hello, Iris. Say hello, Iris. Aren't you cute? You're so pretty. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. And Broody Cricket. Hello, Cricket. Yeah. Hello, pretty babies. Hello, handsome. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing, you handsome thing? What you doing? Hey, Macer. What you doing, buddy? It's so handsome. You're so handsome. Hi, Mace. Hi, Mace. Say hi. Say hello. Hello, handsome. Yeah, aren't they cute? Well, I was going to do something. They're in here now, so I can't really film them doing anything. Now they're just going to be boring. You're not supposed to be boring for me to film you. You're not supposed to be boring. You're boring. They're not the ones really doing anything in here. So, there's Zara. Hello, Zara. Hello, Zara. Say hey, Zara. Zara. And little Miss Julie in the wrong pen. Hello, Julie. Who's missing all the feathers on her neck because of forest. It's going to be a cold neck this winter, dear. Yeah, come on, Julie. Come on, Juliet. Come on. She used to be so pretty till he got hold of her. Come on. Come on, Julie. Come on, Julie. Come on. There's Gunner. There you go, Gunner. Yeah. And there's the troublemaking bee. Say hey, Bumblebee. Say hey, Bumblebee. Are you a troublemaker? And Luna. These two have given Mace and Iris the most trouble of all the hens. One of them is Mace's mother. And Layla. Say hey, Layla. Say hey, Layla. Say hey, Layla. Hello, Layla. Well, anyway, it wasn't as exciting as I thought it was going to be. Hello, Cricket. Hello, Miss Clucky Pants. This is Miss Clucky Pants. Oh, this Miss Clucky Pants. She's so sweet. She's got no eggs under her either. Hello, Miss Clucky Pants. No, you're not getting no eggs this winter. No, ma'am. Okay, you guys. Where is everybody? Hey, Gunner. You handsome dude, you. Well, I don't think this is going to turn out as well as I thought it did. I think I needed to start filming earlier. Look at that handsome dude right there. He is so good looking. He's a handsome, sweet boy, aren't you, Gunner? That's my little Viking, huh? Good boy, Gunner. He's so good. He's a good boy. I have the best roosters. And there's poor Mr. Bash, who's molting and has almost no neck feathers left either. My goodness, my sweet Bash. This Brahma rooster is an angel. He is an angel. Literal angel. Yes, he is. I pick him up every night, put him on the roost, and he snuggles with me. He's so sweet. Well, I was gonna clean this barn out this summer, get all this dust out of here, but there's no way I could do it this year. This season just got away from me. There's just too much going on. Well, anyway, there's Maddie out here running with the other crew. Oh, Athena, did you just lay down the law to somebody? You go right ahead, girl. You go right ahead. I gave them broccoli stalks. Brussels sprout stalks. And Athena's guarding it. There's my Athena right there. That girl, she has got the healthiest looking comb color. She's a big girl. She looks just like her mother. Who was Atlas's mother, too. Yes, my goodness gracious. Oh, here's Jill. Look how naked Jill is. Poor Jill. Poor Jill. Yeah, that sun must feel awful good on that naked body, girl, huh? I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing here. Sorry. Yeah. Poor Jill. You look about half the size you normally are because your feathers are not there. Look at that ragamuffin. Poor ratty Jill. Yeah, I think if Bumblebee had gotten in her face when she felt better, I don't think that would have... I don't think it would have ended the same way. Jill's pretty cantankerous. I'm about ready for winter anyway. I'm ready for all these flies and the bees to go away once and for all. Anyway. Okay. Dust bathing. It looks like a chicken just keeled over dead, but she's just laying in the sun. It's a nice... I like these days. I really do like these days. They're so nice. Hey, Bodie. Well, the excitement thought I was going to come out here and film just never happened, so sorry about that. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. It's been long enough here, and yeah, a little bit of chicken action. Not much action, just some chickens. Well, that's what's going on with us, and it's just getting cooler, and we're bracing for the hurricane, the outer bands of the hurricane to come through, and hope it doesn't do any damage or take down any trees on top of our house. We got about 5 big trees that need to come down around the house. That's a whole other expense. Big Ida. That was her mother. Hey, Athena. Keep order, girl. I'm depending on you. Well, I'm gonna let y'all go. Nothing much else to say. I really don't want to get into what's going on in our world right now. It's just too much, and everybody else is talking about it anyway. I've gotten my elderberries picked. I had my other son come up here and let him pick some for his own elderberry syrup. And not much going on. The garden's about to fold in. No more tomatoes. Well, there's a couple of tomatoes that are turning right now. And some okra. I get okra here, still here and there. Brussels sprouts are still not big enough to pick. Peppers, I'm still getting some peppers. And we're freezing those as we get them, but that's about it. So, folding up shop here for the season. You know, have a good day, everybody.